So hello everyone. So this is our 10th episode of Library Creates Dialogue, and today we have this is a special episode, 10th episode, and today we have a special guest, Prayank Jain. He's also from MP, Madhya Pradesh. Yes, and he's gonna talk about artificial intelligence. Prayank, I'll let you introduce yourself.
Thanks, Ram, and good morning, everyone. Thanks, everyone, for joining in. And my name is Prayank. I originally come from Guna, which is very close to Gwalior. So a lot of you might be familiar with the place. That's where I was born. That's where I grew up, did my schooling, and essentially stayed there for the first 18 years of my life. And then I went on to do my computer engineering in Indore. Spent a few years doing engineering and then started working in a firm called Computer Sciences Corporation that was in Indore. I think it is now known with a different name, but did that. And at that time I had this sort of very strong inclination. एक बहुत इच्छा थी कि we should get the experience of studying in a pretty uh, well known prestigious university. And that's where I wanted to try and do an MBA from a good college. So I started doing that. I used to work and go to my cat coaching in the morning before going to office. Tried that for 1 year, and very interestingly, when I gave my cat and I felt it was decent enough, I might get a good college. I came out of, the exam hall after giving my cat exam, only to find that the exam has been cancelled because the paper got leaked at that year. I think this was 2004. It was
Okay.
the only time in the history of CAT when the exam was cancelled
Okay.
because the paper was leaked. So, I had to, and when they rescheduled the exam,
Bluetooth
I
not
was
connected आ रहा
supposed
है.
to, I was supposed to go to, on site for some work for 2 months, which means I could not give CAT again that year. So I had to wait for 1 year again, tried it next year, and thankfully got interview calls and went on to do my MBA from IIM Calcutta. So that's when I sort of shifted gears from being a computer engineer, got into a different profession. uh, uh, did my MBA and joined Accenture out of campus. So Accenture took me to Bombay. It was a consulting job where there was a lot of travel. And with that job, in a matter of years, I had lived in Bombay, Bangalore, Chennai, Indore, Gurgaon, Ahmedabad, all sorts of places. So I was literally living in hotels, living in service departments for many years, but did a lot of interesting things. And then in
So
20,
can I just interrupt you because going to IIM is like amazing feat, Indian Institute of Management, and I'm sure like after MCA or BTech, a lot of kids want to do that, um, because it's a very prestigious institution. I am Ahmedabad and Calcutta, and I think you are from Calcutta, right? So what does it mean for like college students who are doing like their BTech or MCA, if they want to go there, like if they want to pursue the MBA from such an prestigious university or institution?
So it is very competitive, no doubt. Uh, it's the entrance itself is very competitive. That's the nature of it because there are so many aspirants. But at the same time, the experience is worth it because you get the opportunity to spend those 2 years in the middle of uh, absolutely brilliant minds, brilliant professors. I think what is very important to realize is that we can often think, and I'm I'll sort of continue to flip between Hindi and English here, if that's okay with
Yeah,
everyone.
yeah,
But, and if I look back 20 years, it is very easy to think कि यार, हम एक छोटे शहर के स्कूल में पढ़े हैं या हिंदी मीडियम के स्कूल में पढ़े हैं, कैट जैसा एग्जाम जिसमें इंग्लिश बहुत टफ होती है, मैथ बहुत टफ होती है, कैसे होगा? इट इज नॉट एट ऑल ट्रू. हाँ, इट नीड्स प्रैक्टिस, इट नीड्स एफर्ट. पर मैं जानता हूँ, इनफैक्ट, अ वेरी गुड फ्रेंड ऑफ माइन जो मेरे साथ एमबीए किया कैलकाटा में, और वो शिवपुरी का है. इंजीनियरिंग भी नहीं, बीकॉम किया था, हिंदी मीडियम से पूरी स्कूलिंग किया था, एंड ही मेड इट. आई हैड स्टडीड ऑल द वाइल इन गुना. इट यूज टू बी डिफिकल्ट. जब मैं कोचिंग करता था तो मुझे डिफरेंस समझ में आता था कि जो जो स्टूडेंट्स इंदौर या भोपाल के बेटर स्कूल्स में पढ़े हैं, दे हैड एन एडवांटेज. बट वो एडवांटेज ऐसा नहीं है जिसको आप कवर नहीं कर सकते. एंड द गुड पार्ट इज कि इट इज नॉट द ओनली थिंग विच द कॉलेजेस आर लुकिंग फॉर. अगर आपका कैट परसेंटाइल थोड़ा कम भी होता है, बट यू आर प्रिपेयर्ड एंड यू आर वेरी क्लियर कि ये मुझे करना है, तो वो डेफिनेटली होगा. आई मीन, if I look at it, the best example of that is what we saw 5 days ago when Sarfaraz Khan made his debut for India. और जब उसके डैड ने बोला कि वो सूरज निकलना है तो वो निकलेगा, आप रात को गुजरने दो, बट वो सूरज तो निकलेगा, आप अपना काम करते रहो. तो इट कैन टेक मे बी 1 year और इट कैन टेक 2 years, बट अगर आप डिटर्मिन्ड हो तो वो बिल्कुल होगा. सिर्फ सिर्फ क्लैरिटी चाहिए कि ये करना है.
great. Yeah, you can continue. Yeah, so you then came to Chicago from there.
Yeah, so came to Chicago. It's been 5 years in Chicago, continued working with Accenture. So a large part of my professional career was with Accenture. But I want to talk about one more sort of episode of my career. So when I did my MBA and started working with Accenture, first 2 years, it was very nice. I used to do fantastic projects and, had office at the best building in Nariman Point in Bombay. All of that was good. But suddenly I started feeling homesick, and I decided that I should live closer to my family, and I left my job and I came back to Indore without anything in my hand. So 2 years after an MBA, I quit my job without any plans, came to Indore, and I actually started coaching MBA students. And that was something, at that time startups nahi hote the, koi funding nahi hoti thi, so it was not easy to start a business. But then I realized ki maybe it is, not the right time. So I looked around, again got into a job. Eventually, after a couple of years, went back to Accenture. But that episode taught me two things, और इसलिए मैं इस चीज को लाया. नंबर वन, कि आप जिनके भी साथ काम करते हो, वेदर दे आर योर प्रोफेसर, योर कलीग्स, योर फ्रेंड्स, मेंटेन योर गुड रिलेशनशिप्स, डोंट बर्न योर ब्रिजेस. क्योंकि जब मुझे वापस एक्सेंचर में आना था, इट वॉज द सेम सेट ऑफ पीपल जिनके साथ मैंने काम किया था. दे वर विलिंग टू गेट मी बैक. सो दैट वॉज वन. एंड सेकेंड
Network,
वॉज
right?
network, big time.
And then I
Network.
think Library Create also fosters network, like the guests that are coming here and you want to contact them, like don't hesitate. I think our idea is to build that bridge so that we can provide all the help, not only during this like 1 hour session or 30-minute session, but like later afterwards as well. So you can contact these guests like for guidance, for the job, for referral later on, like via me or through our different contact information that we have for the Library Create organization. I just wanted to like make sure that kids are aware that we are there to help them, right? Whoever is listening.
Yep. No, absolutely. And I think network one is जो बना हुआ है उसको मेंटेन करना, एंड सेकंड इज जब भी कोई opportunity है, whenever there is an opportunity to grow your network, take that opportunity. And that's how you continue to build it. So that was a big lesson from me. But the thing was ki at that point in time I felt that was the right thing to do, so I tried it. It did not work it out. I took plan B. So it's not that, always your first option will work out. Something else will, eventually happen, as long as you're sincere in your efforts. So came back to Accenture, eventually decided to come to US, enjoying my time in US for last 5 years. So I've been a consultant for the large part of life. A little more in terms of, what do I do? Because it's very difficult to understand what a consulting job is. So the best example to explain that is, we deal with a lot of consultants in our life. When you have an issue with your health, you go to a doctor. Doctor is your health consultant. When you have issue with your finances, you go to a CA. CA is your tax consultant. अगर आपको घर बनाना होता है तो you go to an architect. He is, like a consultant in that project. So my job is very similar for businesses. If businesses have an issue, if they have a problem that they want to improve on, they come to, people like us, where, we help them either grow their business or reduce their cost, just whatever business problems that they have. So I'm basically business ke doctor hai in simple terms. So that is my journey. I now work for an American company called West Monroe Partners. So again, uh, Accenture, very, very large firm. I decided to change and come to a very small firm, just to experience, a different environment. And that is the other learning key. Whenever you feel ki you are just getting a little stuck, getting a little bored in what you're trying to do, it is getting repetitive. There is no harm in trying something new. That will always, give you a better chance to grow. So that's sort of, brief about my personal and professional journey. I will take a pause here. And any questions, or we can keep questions for later, whichever ways everyone prefer.
I feel like every journey is so unique, like whether it is your journey or the journey for these students gonna be tomorrow, right? Or like in few years, like they can create their own journey if they have the passion, and if they can pursue that passion, right? So that can be like really unique journey. But even you work hard every day and you are committed and you are like, every day, like you are trying to rightly use your time, then also you can create some unique, you can create a unique journey. So just like believe in yourself. So before we start on our subject artificial intelligence, I wanted to show a quick video, like a 2-minute video on the art on the like library create that we recently created on this journey. Let me try to share my screen and let me know if you are able to see it.
Books empower our ideas, but not everyone has the liberty to access them. For some, the pursuit of dreams can be limited by access to resources. Many students have only their curriculum books to rely on, missing out on a world of ideas and inspiration. That's where LibraryCreate comes in. We believe that every student deserves to dream big and reach for the stars. Our initiative adds wings to their dreams by providing access to a diverse range of ideas and perspectives. Through our weekly dialogue sessions, we bring together students and intellectuals from around the world. It's a platform where minds meet, ideas collide, and dreams take flight. We bring industry leaders, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders to have a dialogue with students. Our guest speakers have inspiring stories to share.
Me and him,
pride myself as the leader.
They don't need to sit in, they don't need to do dine in, right? They don't need to come into the restaurant and eat in. Although McDonald's have that facility, but it's so fast and quick.
so this is the logo of our app. It's called What's New, and we built it like last summer basically.
And it was like a really cool project to learn about like the entire like how you have a tech stack, right? That honestly taught me a lot more than maybe working at like a company that builds an app. We basically started LibraryCreate as like an organization to help kids out in India with reading and books.
Join us in this journey of exploration and empowerment. Together, let's break down barriers, widen horizons, and empower dreams. LibraryCreate, where every dream finds its voice.
Okay, I'll stop sharing and hand it over to Prayank. So this is just a effort I wanted to show, like how we are bringing different people and how like students can get benefit, from these episodes or sessions. So Priyank, over to you. We are all excited to hear now about the artificial intelligence. I think,
So,
yeah, okay.
is my screen loading
Yes, it's
for
coming.
everyone?
Yep.
Okay,
We
awesome.
can
So,
see your Kavita.
हाँ, तो
Okay, ठीक है.
इससे start करेंगे.
Yep.
I just have 4-5 slides, and then we will do more question answer. So, ये कविता है. अच्छी है कि बुरी है, it is not about that. But I hope if everyone is seeing this on a screen, then you can read the kavita. But the only important point here is कि this talks about RJIT College, this talks about LibraryCreate, this talks about me. बाकी सब क्या लिखा है वो मैं बहुत डिटेल में नहीं जाऊंगा उसकी. शुद्ध हिंदी की कविता है. तो डेफिनेटली मेरी थोड़ी रेंज के बाहर है. बट द रीजन व्हाई आई बॉट दिस अप इज बिकॉज ये मैंने नहीं लिखी है, बट द ओनली वे दिस गॉट रिटन was like this. So I just went to ChatGPT and I told ChatGPT, write a poem about Prayank Jain, who is talking to the students of RJIT College in a session organized by LibraryCreate. The poem should talk about what the students are thinking. And what you see here is just 2 paragraphs. ChatGPT ने मुझे 12 पैराग्राफ की पोएम लिख के दी. So this was just to show you guys an example of where artificial intelligence is today. This is, this is what it can do today. And this is just an example of what possibilities do we have with a technology like artificial intelligence. So with that, let's first try and understand what artificial intelligence is. This is a very commonly used term. हर कोई आजकल इसकी बात कर रहा है. In very simple terms, in my view, AI are machines that can sense, understand, and respond. And when we talk about these 3 words, this is something that we as human beings do. We can sense through our sense organs. हम देख सकते हैं, सुन सकते हैं. We understand, we can process that information to understand what it means. And then we can also respond towards that. And when any machine or any computer software has similar capabilities of doing this, that's when we can call it AI. So AI is not just one tool. It is any of this or all of this. That's how it essentially works. Now, AI is actually getting, smarter day by day. But that doesn't mean that this is still something in future. This is something that is out there today. We use it today. And I'll give you some examples. So, these are different things which are also commonly referred to as AI. The first one is computer vision. So face detection techniques. For example, if I take my phone and if it unlocks it based on just, my face, it's looking at me and identifying the way we look at each other and we know who we are. the computer is doing the same thing. That's computer vision. That's one kind of AI. Then there is natural language processing, Google Assistant, Alexa, which can talk to us in our own languages, and they can understand our own languages. So that's natural language processing. Machine learning, if you go to YouTube and you search for Arijit Singh songs, next day when you will open YouTube will automatically show you Arijit songs. That's why, because it is learning from what you're doing. And that's exactly how our kids do. हमारे बच्चे कैसे सीखते हैं? They see what elders are doing, what other kids are doing, and they just see and they learn. And that's how, when computers can learn based on the previous actions, that's machine learning. So all the, when you watch reels on Facebook, if you are watching reels about cricket and you get more reels on cricket, that's machine learning in the background. And then finally, there's generative AI, the super hot topic, which I think Rahulji had covered in one of the previous sessions. And generative AI is what essentially that poem was that we just saw. So it is the capability where it can create things like humans do, whether it's about writing, whether it's about painting, videos, anything. So this is, my view of what AI is. So when someone says artificial intelligence, it could be any of this, one of this, or more than one of this together. That's essentially what artificial intelligence is. Now, let me
Yeah,
talk
I would
more
just say
about.
like Rahul ji's session is on the YouTube because it was with the different audience, different institution. But kids can. It was really good 1 hour interactive session. So I would encourage everyone to go and learn like what generative AI is, what's the history is. The entire 1 hour episode is on the YouTube channel, on the Library Creates YouTube channel, so kids can watch later, or students can watch later. Yep.
Yep. Okay. So now I basically want to talk about how, how we use AI, or, any of the AI tools that we saw on the previous slide in solving as actual business problems. These are some of the things which I'm talking about, from my own experience. The first thing is demand forecasting. And I'll give you an example of what we did. So forecasting is basically to try and figure out कि कोई भी प्रोडक्ट कितना बिकेगा मार्केट में. इट कुड बी फोरकास्टिंग कि एक कार कितनी बिकेगी, एक फोन कितना बिकेगा, एक सोप कितना बिकेगा. All of, every business will forecast how much that they are going to sell a product. Now, specifically for medicines, and that too, the example that I worked on was for allergy medicines. So what happens in US is, when there is season when trees grow flowers and pollens, the allergies go up, and the demand for anti-allergy tablets, cetirizines of the world, that goes up. So what basically now AI models do is they look at weather forecast, they look at how trees are growing flowers and pollens, and use that data to decide कि किस टाउन में कब एलर्जी की मेडिसिन ज्यादा बिकेंगी, एंड हेंस डिसाइडिंग कि which store should have allergy medicine stock when. So that's basically, now this is something which, in the past you wouldn't have done. But today these capabilities exist because of, machine learning tools. The second example is route planning. For our daily life, iska classic example is Ola and Uber. How they plan their routes, how they decide, which car should go to which customer. In supply chain, this is very important to plan routes of ships, of trucks which are carrying material. So let's say if one truck of, when you order items from Amazon or Flipkart, and when they have to deliver, then one truck will carry 20 different orders and it will deliver. और every single day वो 20 ऑर्डर अलग अलग एड्रेसेस पे जाएंगे, और हर दिन there has to be an option so that that truck can travel the least amount of distance and then still deliver those 20 orders so that वो काम जल्दी हो जाए, कम माइलेज में हो जाए, but हर दिन वो प्रॉब्लम डिफरेंट है because the addresses are changing. So this is like, if you guys would remember from computer science, there is this thing called traveling salesman problem. ये हर दिन एक नई traveling salesman problem होती है, and that's what AI model does. It can optimize that route and tell in this is the order in which you should deliver the orders every single day. The third example that I want to take is in-process quality checks, and this is something that I truly love. So again, I'll give you an example. Suppose there is a factory which is making, any product. Let's take example of, it is making noodles. Now, traditionally what happens is they make noodles and then some samples go into a quality lab to check if it is fine on quality. And if it fails in the quality test, then the entire lot which was made has to be rejected because it failed in quality. So that's a big loss of time and material, and effort if it has to be lost. And then there has to be an investigation as to what went wrong, why they have, so that they can fix it and doesn't happen again. Now, what happens in this case is the systems or the AI models continuously keep on checking the machines in terms of machine का pressure कितना है, temperature कितना है, rotating speed कितनी है, and many other parameters. And अगर किसी भी parameter में ऐसा लगता है कि there is a deviation, and that deviation could mean that the quality of the product can become bad, it can alert so that it can be corrected in between the process and we can save the product from actually going bad. So this is, a very new concept of using AI in manufacturing by doing in-process quality checks. And that means that a lot of factory production which gets wasted because it's not up to date in quality can actually now be used. So these are some supply chain use cases, and I picked these ones because they are close to me. I have been part of working on this, but this was just to give you an example of two things. One, AI is not something which is about future. कि future में कुछ होगा and things will change, the world will change. No, it is happening every single day for the last few years. It is just getting smarter, bigger every single day, and we are finding new and new uses for it. Now, one very important thing here is when something becomes so pervasive and so easy to use, then what it means is, there would be a lot of career opportunities as well. And this doesn't mean that you have to be a very, very fundu programmer and only then you can use AI. Think of AI like a tool. It's like a hammer. अगर आपको हथौड़ा चलाना आता है, then you will find 10 different ways of using it. But you don't need to be the one जिसको हथौड़ा बनाना है. And that's the message sort of I wanted to give today, that, you will hear a lot of buzz around AI, but that doesn't mean that, you have to necessarily be a programmer to do it. Yes, you can do that. You can become a, machine learning programmer. But at the same time, you can also learn how to use a lot of AI tools and create applications which can be used. One final sort of, word for that is, I don't know if some of you got a chance to see it or not, but initially there was a picture of mine, or, you can go on LinkedIn and look at, picture of mine. In fact, I would rather bring it up right now. to so let me just reshare my screen one more time. Can everyone see my LinkedIn now?
Yeah.
Do you guys see my picture?
Yeah.
This is not a real picture taken by a camera. This is an AI generated image. All I did was I used an app where I clicked a selfie on my phone and it converted that selfie into a professional picture have so all of that. So this is a picture which I call a real fake. So
Yeah, there are
that was
many
just
use cases like the video that I was showing earlier, like a lot of things were made through AI. So I think I agree with you. You don't need to be like a Fundu programmer. If you are a really good programmer, obviously you're gonna excel, you're gonna like do really well. It doesn't hurt. It adds the value. If you're a good math, like if you're really good in mathematics, that's gonna help because you play a lot with the data, the way what Priyank was showing earlier, that more and more you train these algorithms through data, they're gonna learn, right? The way more and more you interact with your kids, they're gonna learn, like if you tell them this is good, this is bad, they learn from that based on the expressions, based on the teachings that we as a parents we tell them, like when they act on something. Similarly this thing is, so whether you are a good in math or if you're a good programmer, but if you're not, then just being aware about the AI topic and reading a lot about it will also help, because then you will find many use cases where you can apply based on the skill that you know. Like if you're really good in like generative AI, just using the APIs you can do many things. If you're creative, what Priyank was showing earlier, you can apply that to like create faces and all that, right, for your art. Or if you are like, if you want to write articles, you just like write something and then the AI can improve it. So there are many use cases, like endless use cases. It's like a revolution that we are seeing in this decade. Like if you remember, like TV used to be a rare thing in when Ramayana Mahabharata के टाइम पर कि एक घर में सब लोग इकट्ठा हो जाते थे. उसके बाद इंटरनेट आया, एंड नाउ दिस इज लाइक अनदर रिवॉल्यूशन दैट वी आर सीइंग. So you guys are really lucky that you are going through this phase, and this can change your career if you really pay attention to artificial intelligence related things. um yep. So
in fact,
yeah.
I read somewhere by that if we look at human history, there are four major sort of, revolutionary inventions. The first one was fire. The second one was steam engine. Third one was electricity, and fourth is AI.
AI.
So it is that powerful that
Yeah.
human civilization में जो चीज फायर ने या इलेक्ट्रिसिटी ने की है, it will bring that kind of change.
And I think Rahul ji talked about it, that it is like a fire. It can turn into a fire if you don't rightly use it, or it can like help you cook the food if you rightly use it. So I think that that episode was amazing, actually. You guys should definitely watch. But let's see, like if like we can now ask for the questions if there are questions,
Yes.
and then Priyank would be happy to answer, or I can also chime in. किसी के पास है कोई question after hearing out so many things? उधर से अगर कोई आप बोल रहे हैं तो म्यूट पे हैं, तो अनम्यूट करना पड़ेगा, बट आई डोंट नो, लाइक डू यू हैव एनी क्वेश्चंस, एनीवन?
So no doubts. Actually, it is a vast topic to learn more on it. So, am I audible?
या वी कैन हियर। सुनाई दे रहा है, आपकी आवाज़ सुनाई दे रही है। यस, आप हिंदी में भी बोल
If
सकते हो और इंग्लिश में बोलना है तो बहुत अच्छी बात है। इट्स अ गुड प्रैक्टिस। हाँ बोलो, सॉरी।
it will be grateful if Priyank sir will tell us more fields and organizations in which we can use these technologies to connect through it. Like if we want job in future in companies like that. So
So if I understand correctly, you are saying where you can use AI, right? Which organization, right?
mhm.
Okay, go ahead.
Like some live examples.
Priyank, you're on
As
mute.
as I told earlier that Google is using in Google Photos like for face detection and all. And there is one more points like in the presentation earlier. So I want to ask that if we have to start learning that tool, then from where we should start?
Okay.
Okay, so I think those चीजें, let me answer it in two parts. First of all, if if you have to learn about I think there are tons of very good free courses online. And what I can do is, in the next few days, I can share some of those links, and through Library Create, we can share that link, with your entire college, which are free courses, top quality courses, just to get started. So you don't need to really get any. And once you get that basic understanding, then you can choose to say that now do I want to do a certification or not. But you get a very strong good foundation just by those courses. That is one. Second is, while I might have given you examples कि ये Google कैसे use करता है, yeah, some of these, which again might feel कि यार, some of these are like very technical in nature. But the reality is, every single company today, big or small, is trying to use AI whichever ways. तो अभी वैसा है कि you know everyone wants to try it. Not everyone knows कि कैसे यूज करना है, कहाँ यूज करना है, but still everyone is trying, which means there will be a lot of opportunities from a job perspective. I can specifically tell you about one specific category of job that this will create, which is known as prompt engineering. So what that means is, अगर मैं वापस अपनी पोएम पे जाता हूँ, जब मैंने चैट जीपीटी को पहली बार बोला तो पोएम उसने इंग्लिश में लिख के दी। फिर मैंने उसको वापस बोला कि चेंज इट टू हिंदी। फिर मैंने बोला इसको 12 पैराग्राफ की जगह 2 पैराग्राफ करो। तो 3-4 राउंड्स के बाद इवेंचुअली इट केम टू व्हाट इट इज। दैट इज व्हाट प्रॉम्प्ट इंजीनियरिंग इज, कि एट द एंड ऑफ द डे आप उसको जितना प्रिसाइसली, जितना स्पेसिफिकली बता पाओगे क्या करना है, उतना अच्छा आपका आउटपुट मिलेगा। सो दैट इज अनदर टॉपिक विद इन एआई as to how do you use AI tools, which is prompt engineering. Again, I will try and share some links which will give you introduction to that topic. But that is one of the many areas where there will be a lot of jobs.
एंड आई थिंक सबसे अच्छा है इस एज में, डोंट ट्राई टू रश, लाइक दिस इज नॉट समथिंग दैट यू कैन मास्टर इन अ डे. So I would read a lot of articles. Go to, there's a website called medium.com. So Medium has so many articles around artificial intelligence, generative AI, and use of artificial intelligence in different ways, about the data science, about the large language models, about like deep learning. So you need to be, as I said in the beginning, you need to be aware first, right? Like what is artificial intelligence? Like how do you train yourself? Like we gave analogy of like kids learning from parents, but what does it mean? Like who's learning? How they are learning? Like deep learning, I used like a word. So more and more you will read, more and more you will become aware, and more you will become an expert to talk about it. Because at this point, as Priyank said, there are so many jobs and every company is trying to use the AI. But I think everyone is just trying to at least be aware at this point, like how we can use what it is. And then as you are aware, then I think you will get path automatically. But yeah, I think you need to read any topic. I think this is a topic that definitely you must read a lot. That's my suggestion. Any other question from
Thanks
anyone?
for suggestion.
Bolo?
Thank you for your time. My name is Priyanshi Sharma, and I want to ask that, sir. Some people says that they are becoming jobless because of an AI, whereas some people says that they are getting job because of an AI. So, sir, what's your opinion about it, and how we can grab this opportunity?
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's a good one actually. I'll try to answer because I get this question a lot. I mean, we also discussed this in our offices, that what's going to happen in next 5 years. Because like we got this generative AI installed in my office, and one day, like, somebody was trying to, like, we connected it to all the documents in our office, like very closed sort of integration. And then, like somebody was asking, like, what are the two risks related to a project, or who is this person and how is this project going. So the AI was able to tell that person, like, that I would spend hours before I can create like nice document to talk about that, right? So that means people are talking about like what's going to happen in next few years, because like some of the people who are just comprehending the information, what's going to happen to those leaders, at least in the organizations, right? And developers also, like if I can do. So my answer for that is, like, when the automation came, when the internet came, like, or when the automobile revolution came, I think there was a lot of chatter that some type of jobs would be gone. So when you lose some kind of jobs, then new kind of jobs are created. So it will take 10 to 20 years or 30 years in order to implement the AI itself, right? In order to become AI enabled and very intelligent, like the next future in next 30 years is going to be really, really automate, or like very intelligent and very efficient, because AI is all about efficiency, right? So in my view, I think if like the jobs which are repeated in nature may go away, but then new jobs will be created. So I don't think like any joblessness will happen. I would say even more jobs will be needed in future. That's my, like, think in defense, like how many jobs gonna be created with this, right? DRDO is gonna need many scientists, right? So that India is able to have all the modern technology in place. And same thing China is gonna do, same thing other countries gonna do in their defense organizations. Like they don't want to fight war on the ground in future, right? So there are many use cases you will see. um, Okay, so I think we are at time. So if there is any other question, we can take one more question. Otherwise, हम लोग यहीं पर end करेंगे. Okay, Priyank, anything, any concluding statement from your side?
No, nothing. Just thanks a lot for this opportunity. And my message to this entire group of students is, if there is any other questions, anything where you need a guidance, feel free to reach out. Always happy to help whichever ways can. And just remember this, that it's if you have interest and passion in something, just pursue that, and you will be able to achieve whatever you will dream of.
Great. Yeah. And thanks, Priyank, for your time. I think the way you explained AI, it was like very, very informative and very intuitive and easy to understand the topic. So I'm sure it is helpful.
Okay, Mr. Ram. Thanks a lot. And today we also have Dean sir with us, Dean Academic sir.
Okay.
So he just want to say few words for
Sure.
your
Yeah,
session. So I
definitely.
am handing over my phone to him.
Sure,
Our
definitely.
Dean sir, Abhay Tiwari sir.
Okay.
Okay, good morning, Mr. Ram. How is it?
Good evening. It's like 11
I
p.m.
see. It's that
Central Time.
okay. I'm very thankful, sir, that you are just spreading the knowledge to our students. Okay, definitely they will be benefited by this your endeavor, and I have come to know and other endeavors what Library Create, etc. you are doing in India. So we are very much proud of you. Please keep supporting us. Thank you very much. This is all from my side. Our students should please keep in touch with them and guide them as much as you can. Okay, I hope you will be doing so. Thank you very much.
Definitely, definitely. It's a privilege to work with your institution, and we are getting all the help, all the coordination. I know it takes a lot to coordinate itself, but I
I
think with
see.
these sort of dialogues, our
Yeah.
objective is to like tell the students that there's a lot in the world that they can aim for. Different students have like different caliber and
Yeah.
different like expertise, so how they
Yeah.
can start thinking in different directions. I always try to tell them, and our guests also try to tell them, think outside the box.
That's right.
Just think about the ideas. You can be an entrepreneur, you can be a professor in future, you can be a software
Yeah.
engineer, or you can be a scientist, right? There are many ways. Like, it's not just the government jobs like that in our area
No,
people try to aim for. I mean, if you wanna aim for IAS or administrative service, it's all good, but there are many other opportunities. So, the immense opportunities in the world, we just need to open those dimensions, and the whole idea of these dialogue sessions to open those dimensions for the students and make them aware. Okay. So yeah, I mean, it is a great journey, and we'll continue it.
okay. Thank you very much.
Okay, with that, thank you so much. Good night and have a great day, everyone. Bye.